Philip Stoughton. I am on the Global Electronics Association booth at Productronica 2025, and I'm joined by Kelly Scanlon. And I'm joined by Kelly Scanlon. Kelly, let's talk a little bit about the sustainability issues within the association and kind of the sustainability concerns and demands of your members. What are you currently working on, and what's driving that?
Yes, well, first, Phil, thank you for having me. And thank you for talking about sustainability for electronics. It is an important topic. Let me start with just a quick factoid. Not even a factoid, it's a fact. So there was a survey done just a few months ago, the UN Global Compact. They asked CEOs from around the world, so not unique to electronics, but around the world, 2,000 or so of them, from hundreds of countries across many disciplines, about sustainability and sustainability in their industries. And 99%, so we'll just say almost all of them, said that sustainability remains a major commitment for them, despite some of the political and financial challenges that many companies are facing. And that I think it was 88%, so again, almost all of them, remain committed and see that their commitments to sustainability now are even more than they were 5 years ago.
That's really interesting.
So that's the direction, and that's CEOs, that's the executive suite saying, we're all in, we're doing this. So it's not a question of if or how, it's just, okay, we're completely all in. So what does it mean to be all in for electronics? We know for the electronics industry there's a lot of challenges related to building electronics better. Better meaning fewer impacts to human health, the environment, etc. So where can we focus? Where can we help? Well, our Evolve sustainability program is dedicated to a few things. One, our members, or the industry broadly, has challenges with supply chain resiliency. And this is not just, lately it seems to be more of a buzzword of supply chain resiliency, but actually it's been a challenge for a long time. And so companies need data and information to help them build electronics better. What do they need? The impacts of what they're designing and making, that they can maybe improve on them. So access to information, and making sure that data are reliable, making sure that the data are protected and you're not leaking out any sensitive business secrets, things like that. We also know that upskilling the workforce and workforce training is a major issue. And that's not just sustainability, that's more broadly, but also very specific to sustainability. Workers need to understand, as our technologies change, how do they continue to build efficiently? We also know another big problem is natural resources and waste management. So where do the chemicals and materials come from? What do they need? How do they manage their energy demands? How do they manage the waste they're producing, whether that's scrap materials or hazardous waste or water waste, whatever it may be. So there's a lot of policy, a lot of regulations that govern that, but they need help figuring out how to do this a little bit more easily.
And it's really interesting when I think about everything the Global Electronics Association does. None of it is done in a silo. Everything operates as part of this amazing ecosystem you have. So you talk about like conflict materials or rare earth materials. Legislation plays a huge part in that. So your government advocacy and your government connection, has a huge role in that. We've seen, I think, just in the last 24 hours, Europe announcing different things on certain rare earth materials in terms of a watchdog of some kind. So those things all connect together. So going through those things kind of one by one, starting with data, what is the Global Electronics Association able to do? Is it a question of bringing groups together to solve that problem, or is it a question of being a repository for data?
Both. So we are asked regularly as an industry association, especially being such a large one and such an important industry, can you be that repository for data? It's really challenging to do that though. That's like a data management activity. But there is an opportunity to think about what could that look like? And given the changes in how data are being managed through things like AI, maybe that is something. So we are talking about that and considering that. And that's definitely something that is a big endeavor and maybe requires a lot more collaboration and partnership to realize. But in general, data. We already have standards in place that help companies to do data collection, data identification, data exchange, and we want to advance those. We want to expand those. And so we're looking at other platforms. There's this really great platform called Katina X. It's for the auto industry, but the format is a decentralized data exchange. And we're thinking about, well, that's for the auto industry, but electronics feeds into auto. So this way of doing decentralized data, what does that mean exactly, and could that be realized for electronics? So we're looking at that. But more right here, right now, we're a standards development organization. So this is the beauty of the Evolve program is we get to use the infrastructure we have, standards, advocacy, training, events, and collaborate with others outside of the association through other associations that are doing great things.
Like SEMI or whoever else.
The Semiconductor Climate Consortium we've worked with, Responsible Business Alliance, in particular the Responsible Environment Initiative, and then other, not associations, but other organizations like CERI or CEPN, the Clean Electronics Production Network. So we just have wonderful partners that together we can do better things, bigger things. But right now, standards on data, right? We have the whole 175X family. That's on materials, declaration and data exchange. So we already are sitting on top of a really great resource that we need to do maybe a better job talking about, like, hey, this is here that actually will enable some of your sustainability goals. We have some new standards coming. We're actually going to be talking about them here at Productronica. 1783 on carbon dioxide. So the management of greenhouse gases is a major, under that natural resources and waste management. Greenhouse gases, big one. And so our companies need more help. So they've come together to create a standard on calculating carbon dioxide emissions. And so that's going to be a new standard to look forward to in 2026. So we have some things already cooking
around the data
that
side of
are
things.
already there. That are I shouldn't even say cooked. They're cooked or very close to being cooked. So we've got really great resources already available that can help. So that's part of it. Is we've been doing sustainability for a long time. So we just need to talk about it better and make sure that our big industry realizes our association is here for them in that space.
And I think people understand that. You mentioned before bringing stakeholders together, collaborating with other associations. I think collaboration is one of the key things that you're really good at. Enabling, you actually can bring the whole supply chain together. You can bring component suppliers with PCB manufacturers, with EMS companies, with OEMs, all together in one room. And because it's a Global Electronics Association event, they'll attend at a very senior level, and they'll take each other's viewpoint very seriously. I think that's it. When you look at projects like sustainability, you look at like the future of AI, you look at some of those issues around advocacy. None of those are things that individual companies can do. It's all about the collective.
Absolutely.
And that's the key. You also mentioned the issue of talent and training and that side of it. That's a very big part of what you do. How's that playing into the sustainability area at the moment?
I would say that we have so much more actually we can be doing in this space. We have a mature education program at the association. And we know how to develop training. We know how to deliver that training. And so what more should we be doing in the space of sustainability? We have things like electrostatic discharge training, right? That could be sort of marketed or branded for sustainability because if you are making things and they're not working, they become scrap. It's a waste.
If you're making waste, then
we have to train our workers so that they are making things and not so that I'd say that our workforce training and education opportunities are ripe. Right now we have a really great partnership. I mentioned Clean Electronics Production Network, CEPN. They, through some funding through the German government, actually developed workforce training on worker health and safety that targets not our more developed facilities, but our less developed facilities. So maybe as we expand into Malaysia and Vietnam. How can we make making sure that those workers are receiving training?
Yeah.
So they're doing this work. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
But we can help be a megaphone for their activities and help expand that type of workforce training, either through our programs or enhancing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's just, there's really like a unlimited amount of opportunity there.
Well, there's an unlimited amount to do.
There's an unlimited amount to do.
So you've got to prioritize that.
Yes,
as well.
and that's where, in the meantime, what can we do with education? And well, we can do events, right? And so we want to get out and be something as simple as a webinar, which has incredible reach because they can be recorded and they can be downloaded at any time. So we just did something recently. We try to do webinars on a regular basis. And then events, we have events going around the globe. And so how do we get more conversations around sustainability at those events? There's really unlimited potential here.
Yeah, and I think it plays into that thinking global, acting local thing, because all of these initiatives need to be delivered in different ways in different regions. All of these different regions have different sustainability challenges because they're in different parts of their industrial development.
I'm glad you mentioned that. We have been trying to, our focus as Global Electronics Association has been find those sustainability challenges that are more universal. And try to solve those because the rising tide floats all boats.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now as we mature, we are looking more regionally. What is unique about our India colleagues, those facilities, and even getting more specific, Southeast Asia? Is there a difference that there's something more different that they need there versus in China, versus in Germany, versus in Mexico? And so we're beginning to tease that out. I think one of the more universal problems that I didn't get to mention yet is circularity. So when I think about specific regions may have challenges with e-waste, whereas other regions may not see the e-waste issue, but they are the generators of the e-waste. So how do we partner? So in thinking about collaboration and collective action, maybe, and we're looking to partner more with those companies that do recycling and what I call the RE words, because there's a lot of them. It's recycle, but it's also repair, reuse, remanufacture, reclaim, rework. So those companies and the companies that design and make electronics need to talk to each other more and need to have space to come together to meet, to talk technical, to maybe develop standards, to maybe do some more training, develop some workforce training. And I think that would really solve some issues. And again, thinking more universally, we know that those are maybe some unique problems regionally, but what's an elegant solution that can help all? And really looking into circularity of materials, circularity of the printed circuit boards, the components, wire and cable, the assembled bit, everything that's been assembled. And we have standards that are already there, like 771121 on rework. That is already in existence. We need to do a better job talking about its utility to circularize. And we have some new ones coming in the new year. Again, something to look forward to. That we don't, and let me say this, Global Electronics Association, we've been doing sustainability a long time, but we're not a sustainability organization.
No.
And that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
We're talking to the designers and the engineers. We're not talking to, we talk to sustainability people.
Yeah, sustainability officers, whatever, but they're part of an organization that you're talking to at many, many different levels at a, that's one of the things I was talking to Sanjay earlier. One of the things I love about what you've been doing recently is, I see very junior engineers excited by the hand soldering competition, and then I get to go to Paris and moderate a panel of some of the CEOs of the largest EMS companies in Europe from different regions that are competitors that only you can bring together and get at the table together.
That's right.
So it's every level of the business that interacts with the Global Electronics Association.
And if we're talking to the non-sustainability people about sustainability, I think that's where we have real impact.
Yeah, that's impact.
Really
Absolutely,
impactful.
Yeah. You're not just preaching to the choir.
Right.
Kelly, pleasure to chat. Lots going on, almost too much to keep up with, but keep us informed, and we'll talk again soon.
Wonderful. Thank you, Phil.